happening, man? It's your boy SouthSide Mike, man. One half of the infamous show, EFABU. You know what I'm saying? Please check in every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. We go live, man. You know what I'm saying? Me, the boy Lil T3rry, man. We turn it up. The crib. Y'all get with us, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, man. Look, man, y'all got to be a part of this. You got to be a part of this. If you ain't a part of this, then you missing out. You want jokes? We got that. You want controversy? We got that. You want interesting topics? Man, we got that. So please, every Tuesday, come holler at your boys, man. 7 p.m., man. We go up, we go live, we go crazy, man. SouthSide Mike, man. Holler at your boy.
What's happening, man? That was your boy Southside, man.
Yes, sir, Steve.
Hey, we back in the building, man.
Hey, man, every time we get here, bro, your Wi-Fi get to tripping, bro. You got to tighten up.
No. I think it's his background.
It's your Wi-Fi.
Good?
Yeah, somewhat.
So I'm good?
Somewhat.
Man, we ain't got time for all this now.
We don't. You ain't never crispy.
Hey, man, we gonna make it happen. No, this your boy Lil T3rry, man.
It's your boy Southside Mike, man.
Hey, and you are in the crib on the EFABU talk show. You dig what I'm saying?
Sure.
Shout out to the teammates. You know what I'm saying? Our staff, Jonathan Coleman. Our
Big shout out.
subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who y'all are. Crenshaw, Tanya Green, man. We appreciate y'all for actually, you know what I'm saying, giving us a blessing for staying a subscriber. So look, man, this is the man cave. Today is the man cave.
It's our day.
What up, Jay? Introduce yourself, Jay.
What up, man? This is boy Jay. How y'all doing?
We all right. We living today.
Hey, somebody sound is off though. I think that's yours, Jay. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, that's yours.
What it sound like?
I don't know. Go back out and come back in.
Sound like you're trying to put somebody in the trunk. Know what it sound like.
We gonna keep the show going. Woo-wee. We're gonna keep the show going, y'all. Hey, today is the man cave. We appreciate everybody for actually tuning in. We had some little hiccups, you know what I'm saying, but we ain't gonna let that, you know what I'm saying, hold us. Salute to Jonathan Coleman for actually, you know what I'm saying, doing a great job with the producer side, the PR side, the marketing side. He's the best in the town, you know what I'm saying. So I definitely gotta make sure we shout out to him, man. Southside, man, what you got, man? What's going on?
Hey, man, you know, it's just another beautiful day, man. You know, out here enjoying life, man. I'd like to just welcome everybody here today, man. I'm glad you guys was here to join us with this man cave. So we're going to get into some real man shit tonight.
You already know. Hey, Jay.
Can y'all hear me?
You sound a lot better,
sir. I can hear you. But yeah. Okay, now we good now. We good.
Right, he took that blanket off her mouth. That's what it was. Yeah, he was trying to smuggle her and throw her in the trunk. Like,
man, you already know.
So look, we do have a special guest that's gonna be in the building. His name is Tevin. You know what I'm saying? So he been trying to get on the show for a minute. He chose to come to the man cave. Now listen, no hard bar. You know what I'm saying, in the crib. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, hey, Pastor, I'm just letting you know. The man cave. We got a lot of questions, and you happen to drop in today. You know what I'm saying? So,
especially coming out that controversial Women Day from last week, man.
Oh,
hey,
man.
Hey, the women were kind of spicy last week, but we coming back though. You know what I'm talking about? We coming back.
You gonna need you strong tonight, Jay.
Yeah, I missed that one, man. I didn't do that, man. Okay,
man, listen, man, it was a lot of political answers in there. We didn't get what we thought we were gonna get, but it was nevertheless it was really good though.
I can dig it.
I think we lost that one though, but we allowed them to win. We have allowed them. Facts. We was holding ours
for tonight.
There you go. There you go.
It's our time, baby.
Going next.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, so I want to open up with this, right? There's a scenario. The scenario is, why is it out in public that the woman is the first one to start something, if it's a relationship or whatever? It's the woman that's the first person to start something in their surroundings. Why? Yeah, we allowed y'all.
Why? Because they're emotional, man. You know, women think with their emotions, or they act with their emotions. So that's why they're probably the first ones to react about stuff.
Facts.
Yeah.
Men gonna take that.
Well,
Men gonna take that moment to think about it.
Right.
Well,
Women
you know the
women
two
just gonna jump
words
out
that
there.
was used. The two words that was used last week was what? Southside. What were the 2 words?
Feelings and think.
Feelings and think.
Feelings and think.
Feelings and thinking. Stop thinking. Feelings and thinking, man. That's the first thing they say. What I think and I feel.
Yeah, everything got opened up with, and then it was crazy because they really proved my point because I asked questions. Every question got opened up with, well, I feel, and it was like, well, see, you just make my point even clearer. So at no point did anybody take a moment to just think about their answers.
Oh yeah, they go off their feelings real quick, man. I mean, matter of fact, I think they go with their feelings first.
Oh yeah.
It's feelings first.
Their feelings
first,
are
then
at
thought action.
the pinnacle of everything. Like females' feelings, like they're at the pinnacle of everything.
Yeah.
Like if it don't appease their feelings, everything goes to shit. It's just a wrap.
Yeah.
It's downhill from there.
Which is crazy. It's crazy, but you know,
it's absurd actually.
what can we do, man? What can we do?
Man, you gotta love them.
So what's the first question though, Southside? All right, you know what? On them, baby. Now, we do have a guest that's gonna come on the 15 mark. Okay, 15 mark. So we gotta open up spicy.
So I'm glad. So I'm glad that the guest that we have, he'll have good insight on this one particular question. So I'm going to open it up with this question. And does
he's a pastor now?
Oh, I know.
Oh, he a pastor.
Oh, indeed.
Okay.
So, does religion limit you from being you?
Now, I know he's hearing us, but we can't hear you yet. We got 3 minutes. But I'm gonna allow Jay.
Let him marinate on that. Let that sizzle in his spirit for a minute.
Let him sizzle.
Yeah, let that sizzle. I see
Jay,
he over there rubbing the hand together. He getting his Birdman hands together. So we're gonna let that sizzle on him for a little second. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What you got, Jay?
So the question is, do I think religion changed who you are? Like, is that the question?
Does it limit you?
Oh, does it limit you
from being you, natural you?
Yes.
It does? You feel like it does? Would you like to elaborate a little bit on that?
I mean, when it comes to religion, from what I think about religion, I mean, it all has to deal with some type of change. So, of course, if anytime there's change involved, then you're going to have to limit yourself, so to speak, because you are naturally, according to the Bible, according to Christian beliefs, you are naturally a sinner. You see what I'm saying? So, my sinful things, my sinful ways, yeah, I mean, that's who I am naturally. But, to be born again, from what I understand, and to become a Christian, you have to be born anew, which means you have to abide by rules, so to speak. So, yeah, you have to limit yourself.
Okay, I can see that. I see where you went with that. I like where you went with that. I like where you went.
Well, my answer to that before we bring on Mr. Tevin, you know what I'm saying, Pastor Tevin, out of respect, you know what I'm saying. I grew up as a Christian, you know what I'm saying, and I was limited and was born, like, it was almost like I was born into fear. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like shackles. This is me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I had shackles of not necessarily living my truths, being true to myself, or even I was scared to even try things, you know what I'm saying, or to experience things because something was always on my back as you're gonna go to hell or God's gonna strike you or you're gonna die or anything like that. So I was really afraid to be who I am. And most people, especially men, and well, females as well, you know what I'm saying? But in the human nature, in a sense, we are meant to be free.
Right.
We was born to be free. You know what I'm saying? So it was just that's just my take on that.
Yeah, and just to add on that, man, I think too many people put too many restrictions on religions, man. I mean, it's like, you know, and you got so many different sects. And when I say sects, I mean sects of religions. I mean, you got Lutheran and Baptist and Methodist. And I remember growing up, you know, was non-denomination. So, you know, I remember one of those churches, man, women couldn't wear pants, and you know, women couldn't do this, or men we couldn't dress like this, or I mean, yeah, it's just too many doggone rules and too many restrictions, man. So yeah, you can't be yourself.
So you might.
So for me, I feel like it's a yes and a no. So from being a person that grew up as a Christian and grew up in church, my mother also is a minister. So, you know, to be able to be on both sides of that coin, I do feel like it limits you to a certain extent of depending on what it is that you're trying to do. So, you know, God knows your heart. So he knows you as an individual person. He knows, like, you know, he knows you as far as things that you feel, think. He knows where your heart really lies as far as things that you want to do. So I feel like if your intentions are devious, then those are the things that you're going to have to change. If you have pure intentions, then I don't think it limits you too much if your intentions are pure. So that's just my take on it. So I feel like it's kind of a yes and no.
Well, it's on you to bring the guests on.
All right. So, you know, with that being said, you know, we're now going to add a more knowledgeable person on this. You know, he is a pastor within his right. So we're going to welcome to the stage Pastor Tevin Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
All right.
What's going on, baby?
How you doing today?
Hey, man. Hey, we ain't turned up yet. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
I got some questions. questions.
Okay.
My first question is, but just introduce yourself and just let us know how long. I don't know if you're a pastor, but it said pastor at first before the name changed. So if you are a pastor, how long was you in the profession, and you know what I'm saying, and introduce yourself.
So my name is Tevin Ramirez. Yeah, I am a pastor. Long story short,
pretty floor pastor.
Yeah, I've been a pastor for a little while. It's been 2 years officially, but you know, so growing up, I've always been, you know, behind the scenes, and due to various different circumstances, I was pushed into being a pastor. But I always felt like, you know, I was always, you know, like when my family became sick and I had to take over, I basically was that one pushing a lot. But like I said, I don't really give any credit to myself. All the credit, I give it to the congregation. Everybody is a team. So
true. All right.
So I'm gonna kick it off.
Yeah, kick it off, man.
I'm gonna kick it off, right? Because I didn't know that you was gonna pop in, right? But me and Jay, we've been going, you know what I'm saying, back and forth, and I'm not scared to own my truths, right? So I was a Christian, but I was a judgmental Christian. You found I judged everybody, but I was taught to judge everybody. It was just part of, you know what I'm saying, how I was raised in this sense. So if you didn't believe in Jesus Christ, you go to hell. There's no saving you or anything like that. When it comes down to life itself, you're limited, you feel what I'm saying, to really like just bump your head, you feel what I'm saying, or get a scrape in your elbow. You just wasn't allowed, and if you did, you feel what I'm saying, it's automatic a hell question. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you ask me, and you can elaborate on it, God did more killing in the Bible than the Satan. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a true fact. Now if you have rebuttal on it, you know, I would love to hear it. But God did do more killing, from my knowledge, than Satan has. It was, you barely even hear Satan, you know what I'm saying, in the Bible, other than he was an angel cast down from heaven from being who we are today as humans. Humans, we did the same thing that Satan did. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not perfect. So that's just my take now. But then when I got out the Christian world, and I became more of a free spirit guy. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody. You're a Christian, I love you. If you're a Muslim, I love you. If you're not a Christian, if you're not a Muslim, I love you. You know what I'm saying? That's just my pure heart. Right. But when it came down to the Christianity world, it seemed like they'll say that I love you, but love you only through prayer. You find I will pray for you.
I love everybody but Red Bones.
I know why. So that's just my take.
So I'm supposed to catch that.
Yeah, I would love to hear what the pastor got to say about that.
Yeah, definitely. That he went there, so I would like to hear your take.
So tell me the sentiments of the question again. It's that of the Christians. Is that what you're? That was your question.
Say what again?
Tell me the question, like the sentiments of that question again.
What is the basis to your question?
My basis to my question is being in any type of religion strips you for being who you truly can be. You know what I'm saying? That just it's like limitations, you know. And so, I was depressed when I was in the Christian side. Now I'm not saying everybody's the same, but I was depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like I was.
So I would have to give a caveat for me. So I'm a pastor, but I'm not the typical pastor. So I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna come the way I would come.
Oh, this is the man cave, baby. Yeah, this is the man cave. Come on. This is the man cave. Come on.
I would say I agree with you.
I like to hear that.
Let me tell you why.
But mom, if you watching, just it's the man cave.
Mama.
We're gonna be real. So
facts,
for me, I feel like so we're talking. I'm gonna talk from a past. I'm gonna talk. So let's look at the Bible. Let's look at this Bible. Okay, when it talks about Jesus, in the New Testament. Well, his name is considered the Word. That's what I teach, and that's what we always, see it as. He's called the Word. Well, when I give you a word and information, think about it. When I give you information, I want you to do what with it?
Share it.
Utilize it. Utilize
it. I want you to take it. So if I'm giving you a word, I'm teaching you, I'm showing you it's time for you to think. See, I think a lot of times people, I think that's what's wrong with a lot of so-called churches today. They'll get people and they'll try to make them cookie cutter and make them like this and like that. But I don't believe that's how the true church should be. I believe that you have a certain essence that a pastor should bring out of somebody. See, let's go back to the Old Testament. I'm a pastor. Y'all follow me. So in the Old Testament, they were making bricks. But if you study it, it talked about how the people are supposed to use stones. See, there's a difference between stones and bricks. Let me tell you the difference. The difference between a brick and a stone is a brick is made and is fashioned a certain way. All of them look the same. You don't really see a different looking brick.
True.
But a stone, how many I can
it comes different.
Yeah.
So when Jesus came down, he made us into living stones. He made us into people that he gave you information, but he wanted you to be who you truly were. See, Paul wasn't the same. Paul preached to certain people. Peter wasn't the same. God's supposed to take the uniqueness out of you. See, when you don't have God in your life, you start conforming to be like a lot of everybody else. The world tells you got to wake up and you got to be like this at work. You got to wear your hair like this at work. You got to do this at work. But when you get God in your life, I believe that the true church, they'll start molding what's inside of you. They won't say, hey, you got to look like, you got to wear a dress. You got to wear your hair just like this. I don't believe that's really the true church. I believe that that's religion.
Okay.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
So it was the Old Testament before the New Testament, correct? It had to be
Correct.
old and new. It got to be the old before the new, right?
You can say, yeah.
So God, according to the scripture, I read it, but I don't follow it. But the Old Testament teaches polygamy, right? Like clear as day. He allowed certain characters of the Bible have multiple wives. He allowed a character to have someone to come in, which was a concubine, to have a wife, have a child for him because his woman couldn't bear.
I see where you're going with this.
He also did not. He also killed for the ones that did not obey his saying, in a sense. So that's all in the Old Testament, right? So when the New Testament, then in Exodus, there's 10 commandments. You know what I'm saying? There's 10 commandments in the Old Testament, right? It's a lot of, so everything I'm saying is in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, it's only 2 commandments. So only 2 commandments. I don't remember, but it's only 2 commandments in the New Testament. The 10 is in the Old, the 2 is in the New, right? Now, monogamy is now taught in the New Testament, right? Monogamy is now taught in the New Testament. So one thing I realized when it comes down to preachers, I didn't see this when I was coming up and when I was a kid, but now I'm starting to look like, okay, as preachers, are you telling me that we're able to go and pick out certain things out of the Old Testament, bring it to the New Testament, and we live that way? My thing is, like, if you're gonna take something, it's like you're choosing how you want to live instead of trying to understand the whole picture.
I mean, half the pastors smashing the congregation though, so that's kind of like.
You said half the pastors are smashing the congregation?
For sure.
Oh man, and stealing the money.
For sure.
Getting rich.
And
But that's
the money, man.
But that's just my take when it comes down to the old and the new. Like they would say, well, go to Exodus and then bounce back to Revelations, but picking certain parts. But they're not really speaking about what happened when it came down to like God telling you to obey your masters. When it came down to slavery days, you follow? Now that's in the text. I have not heard not one preacher speaks about this. They talk about the good. You follow what I'm saying? They want you to put the money into the complex, in the plate. You follow what I'm saying? And say, well, God gonna handle the rest. But can I really come to you like, hey, my rent is due. You follow? I just paid tithes 4 Sundays ago. I need some help. The first thing they're gonna say is, yeah, did you pray?
Right.
I gave my money to you.
I gave my money to you.
right.
You see, this stuff is needed. I think, right?
You own a song.
You are. I mean, today, people, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Like I said, I'm different than a lot of pastors, honestly. And I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal or anything, but I'm not a paid pastor, one thing. And I'm not saying that I'm coming against people who are paid and all that stuff. I study and do what everybody else does, times 10 sometimes. But I feel like what you're saying, people picking and choosing. I feel like you got to understand truly what the scriptures truly is meaning and saying. In the Old Testament, it's a revelation. It's the New Testament concealed. The New Testament is the old revelation, the Old Testament revealed. So a lot of that was used for example, and I can get into the depths. I mean, it can take a little while to get into the depths to understand the differences now. But like you said, it shouldn't be picked and chosen what you want to do,
I mean, for the ones that are paid, it is a paid profession. So I mean, essentially they're getting paid to do a job.
Right.
So they have to find the context that matches the message that they're trying to push out at that particular moment in time. So whatever their message is, whatever their message is at that particular moment, they have to find the scriptures, the text to go along to match that message, to push that message out. I mean, they are being paid, so essentially you got a job you got to do.
So before we get to the next question, and I want Jay, because we talked about this, I want Jay to elaborate. Before we get, I gotta do a curveball, right? I'm finna home run before the ball even be thrown. So look, Adam and Eve. Now this is based on the text. This is the text book. Who committed the first sin? Woman or man?
This nigga here, boy, he pressing buttons tonight.
Who did it?
We know who did it.
That's a question for the pastor. Who are you gonna say, pastor?
Y'all threw it on me.
Yeah. It gotta go on you.
I mean,
it gotta go on you.
Who you say committed the first sin?
So this is what I've been taught my years.
No, not what you've been taught.
No. Let him say what he's been taught. I'm curious.
This is what I've been taught, and this is what I believe. I believe that it's Adam. Let me explain. I believe that Adam.
Adam is a man.
Oh, let him talk. Let him talk.
Okay.
I believe that Adam had the responsibility. Eve, yes, I understand that Eve, she did what she did and she gave it to him. But I believe that Adam was the man, and I believe that the man's the one who God gave the charge to. And I believe that he should have, he should have been like, hey, Eve, you ate of that. He knocked that out of hand, did something like, hey, that's you, and God handled Eve, but the charge of the world was upon him.
So you saying the fact that he went along with it,
right,
the responsibility falls back on him.
He was like, if I'm the owner of a business.
So we're not gonna give her the accountability for eating the fruit, even though she was already told, don't touch that motherfucker.
And she was naked. She went to Adam naked. Y'all forget about that too.
Right. She get accountability. But the thing is, if the owner of a business, if something goes wrong, you fire the employee, you still own the business.
That's true. So we saying Adam on the goal.
I'm gonna tell you what I think, Pastor. I'm gonna tell you who I think committed the sin. I don't think it was Adam nor Eve. It was Satan, or supposedly who y'all call Satan.
The serpent.
Snake in the grass.
See, people don't remember. In order for Satan to even get Eve, to convince Eve of that, right? He had to be cast down from heaven. See, the first sin was pride. See, people don't talk about that. The first sin was pride. When Lucifer wanted to be like God, and he was going around telling people, I'm like God. And when God found out, he cast him down. Mm-hmm. That was the first sin. That's how sin entered. It wasn't Eve nor Adam.
Right.
So,
I agree.
So Satan being who he is or who he was, he knew who to approach. And see, that can go to however you want to interpret. Because me personally, I don't believe everything in the Bible. I believe the Bible. I believe exactly what they say. It's the greatest story ever told. True. I believe that it was plagiarized from a lot of old Egyptian scripts and things of that nature, and it was translated to control the masses, so to speak. But that's a whole nother conversation if y'all want to get into that. But yeah, that's who I believe committed the first sin. It wasn't Adam nor Eve. It was actually an angel.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and then Mike, you can take over. If Eve was naked,
but booty naked,
I don't care how big the fellas are. You can have a smush breast, you can have the big breast. You look good to us, especially if it's the first coat that we got, right? So if she the first person that says, "Hey, eat this apple," and we's looking at something that's naked, us human beings, especially as men, you feel what I'm saying, we might not. It's gonna be temptation.
And then
it's the same way it is today.
And then on top of that, you gotta understand something too. If Eve ate the apple first, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means Adam is still what you call it? I don't want to say dumb, but what's the word?
Naive.
He's still naive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eve now knows what she's doing because she ate the apple.
Adam's
still naive. The only thing Adam knows, the only thing Adam knows is that God told him not to eat the apple, but he didn't tell Adam to not listen to Eve. All Adam knew was, well, God, you brought me this helpmate, you brought me this woman.
Right.
You brought this woman to me, and now she's offering me this fruit, and she's butt booty naked.
Right. So I'm glad. I'm glad we went in on the women. I'm glad you opened up with the women.
Yeah.
So leading to my next question. Because, you know, my boy Adam was naive.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Naive, EVE.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was
Yeah.
naive.
Yeah. There you
You know
go.
what I'm saying? So, next question to that is, are there good women?
Ooh.
Because all day we hear there's no good man left.
So every woman is a self-proclaimed good woman.
Yeah, you ain't gonna never hear
There's
no woman
never,
say.
you can
You'll
never
never hear a
actually,
woman say that they ain't no good woman.
you can
Exactly
never,
right.
you're right. You'll never hear a woman say, I ain't shit.
Ever.
They
Ever.
all are self-proclaimed good women, and they all have hella shit to offer.
It's always
Let
the
them
man.
tell it.
It's always the man's fault.
Let them tell it. So, from a man perspective, are there any good women? Shoot, fellas. I don't care who started off.
No.
Pastor, you get
no.
He said no at the gate.
Off the top.
There's
no
good women out there. I think it's good.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as a good man and a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. It's all about a preference. You know what I'm saying? If I date you and I like what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, then you become of my liking. But is there such thing? Like I can't look at you and say that's a good man, because in public they might be holding hands.
That part.
And then I look at that and I'm like, dang, that's a good couple. Or that's a good this and that's. But when they get to the crib, he done probably went upside her head.
Does that make him a bad? Does that make him a bad man?
Who?
What you just said, does that make him a bad man? So I'm gonna throw. So you like to throw a curveball? I'm gonna throw a curveball into what you just said. So you said he get home, he might go upside her head. So as a parent, sometimes you discipline your kids, correct? Yes or no?
I already know.
You discipline your kid to correct an action, and you tell your kid you're doing this out of love, and you expect your kid to believe that, yes, I just whooped your ass because I love you. So is it fair to say that a man is wrong for trying to correct his woman by slapping her? He's trying to correct an action out of love.
And yeah, man, you wrong.
Hey, man, I just like to throw curveballs in there. So we can get like I just like to throw the curveball in there so you can open up, you know what I'm saying? Open up the mental, get them gears for. So it's cool to whoop your kid out of love, but it ain't cool to whoop your woman out of love, is what you're saying.
Huh.
I don't agree with it. For one, a child, comparing a child and an adult is two different things.
Why? Some people have childish minds as adults, so that's fair to say.
I definitely agree, but that does not make them not a child. I mean, not an adult, because they have a childless mind doesn't make them not an adult, right? You know, in America, I think they say you're legally an adult when you turn 18. Even though I do think that when you're 18, you still have childish ways. You're still not fully grown. I mean, you can't even drink. You know what I'm saying? But legally, you're an adult. So
okay.
So to rear a child and to rear an adult is two different things.
What's the difference?
Well, I take priority over my children. I am responsible for my children.
You're not responsible for your woman?
Hold on, I am. But she grew up there. I mean, she grew up just like, okay, I'm raising a child. I'm raising my children, right? So children pretty much don't know. A woman should already know. An adult they should already know, right?
Should is the key word in there, but she may not know. So saying that she don't know, and you have to correct the action, just like your kids should know certain things, they might go against it. Now you have to correct that action.
Right.
So does it make you wrong to go upside her head out of love?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it, you don't go upside your kids' head. When you spank them, you generally think you're putting that belt to the bottom. You know, you don't just go upside somebody's head.
Okay, so whoop it with a belt then. That's cool. If you take the belt off on it. So is it cool to just give? It's cool to give her the leather, is what you're saying?
I
long as she get the leather is good.
Me personally, I don't agree with physical violence. You know, as far as rearing a child or rearing an adult. Period. I don't believe in that. I believe only time you should fight is if y'all got some kind of odds or we finna get ready, or if my life is in danger or something like that. Okay. But I think it's multiple ways. Me personally, I feel like there's other ways to get your point across. To rear a child and an adult, for that matter. I think there's ways, but to go upside your head, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Let me say this, right? I want to ask this question to you, to Jay, Southside. You know what I'm saying? The pastor. Pastor, you first. You first, right?
Okay.
When I was coming up, they always say spoil the child, whatever
spare
the
child, spare the rod, spoil the child.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Whatever that saying is, right?
Yeah.
Who wrote in the Bible to use a switch, a belt, sticks, stitch cords, shoe, a pot, a bowl, hand? Who wrote the definition of the rod? What rod was he talking about?
Man, y'all, you know who wrote the Bible. Hold on, but you know who wrote the Bible, right?
All those things.
I know wrote the Bible.
Yeah, people don't talk about who actually wrote and published the Bible, man. When you talk about things that's in the Bible, I always question that. Even when because I grew up Christian too, and I always had these questions, and couldn't nobody answer them for me, man. So I had to go and do my own research and stuff like that. But once I found out, who wrote the Bible, oh man, it just opened up a lot of stuff. I mean, and it opened up more questions that I would love to ask the pastor, but maybe we ain't got enough time.
We got time.
No.
We got time.
A good question. Good. I like all these. This is what I like about a man cave. We think we get to a place where we sit down and we don't emotionalize it. We be like, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't.
Right.
I ain't saying. I ain't gonna lie. It's the crib.
It's
Some women I feel like have a little bit more of a thought process. I would say that. But so your question you want me to answer is the rod.
Who defined the rod? Who defined the rod?
I believe the people that defined the rod is the same people who try to define the whole Bible. I believe that. No, I believe that people off of their basically their perspective, what they think it means, and I like to go down. If I'm reading, first of all, you have to be led by God. You have to be led by the Spirit when you read. Now, you can't just because everybody reads something. The scripture talks about that. If you look at a King James version of a scripture that says hate this person, hate that person, it's not meaning hate like that. You got to understand what it truly means. You got to be led by the Spirit. You got to really look down deeply, at the definition. I like to read it in the Aramaic, Greek, and Hebrew. But long story short, the rod. Okay. I believe it's the word. The word of God is the rod. I believe that.
Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's stop there. Right?
Okay.
Let's stop there. Listen. Wait a minute. Why is the Holy Ghost?
Light into the
Hey, listen. That is so true in that world. That is so true in that world. Now listen. The rod is the message. Right. We're supposed to sit down, you know what I'm saying, and talk to him about Jesus. Talk to him about God. Talk to him about prayer. Talk to him about forgiveness. We're supposed to be able to sit down and talk. But we decide to grab a belt because you're not listening to me. So we became God. We became God. We put the book to the side. We just threw that book to the side and you listen to me. Forget the word now. Based on what you just said, though, you said the rod is the book. So therefore, we've been replacing whatever we want to do according to the book this whole time. How we live today. How we live today is based on how we want to live. That's the reason why it's so easy for someone to take certain chapters or certain scriptures and try to make a story behind it and make it make sense. And then we in the congregation saying, oh, yeah, that sounds good.
One thing I found out a long time ago, I can put a screw I can put a lug nut on my wheel on my truck. It may not be just right, but I can kind of tighten it up and make it fit. But when I hit them bumps,
It's gonna loosen up.
It's that and that tire fly off. I know that what I put on there wasn't right, and that's what I was speaking about the Sunday. People have bad results. See, we are creatures of results. If it's not working, then we know it ain't right. If it's not truly working, I'm not saying that if it's not working for us, I'm saying if it's not working in general, if it's not working for anyone, it's not right. And I feel like that's what it is. People, we can debate the Bible and be like, well, the Bible said this because and that, but if it's not working, there's a lot of stuff that's so-called supposed to be in the church that's not working right now. Meaning that it shouldn't be in there because it ain't supposed. God didn't create us here. He put people in Eden for a reason. That's another story. But like you said, the ride, I believe that this happened even beyond this. So I got to get the prerequisite for people that know. My last name is Ramirez, but I'm half black, and I grew up with my great grandmother, my big mama, and she talked about the slavery times because she was back. You know, she died around 100 years old, so she knew, like, her grandmother knew all that stuff and how back in that time, and even before then, but during this time, you know, there was a lot of scriptures that was used to subjugate the people and to mess up their mind and mess up what they thought. So they'll take the Bible and make it look like, hey, you know, this is our book. But people don't realize that the New Testament, the book of Mark, from my understanding, it was written in Africa. It's the first book of the New Testament was Mark. And my thing is this, that I feel like people take what they think and they remix it and then they throw it to people. The ride means get a belt and beat people. I believe that you don't have to beat people. Think about this. In a war, you can kill people all day. Hitler's been killed. There's been various people killed, but there's still belief of Nazism, there's still beliefs of slavery. That's still here on the earth. Is people our issue? Are we fighting a bigger battle? That's why when Jesus came, he came as the word. He said, I know y'all think it's these people, y'all gonna kill this person, is gonna stop it. Y'all gonna beat them with the rod and think that the hurting of the flesh is gonna help people, but it's your mind, it's your heart. That needs to change. It's not the laws, it's not all this stuff, it's that heart needs to change. That understanding, that thinking.
So how we beat common sense in the women then?
Well, I ain't gonna wait.
How you get in women?
Before we go there, right? I'm gonna do
Okay.
a commercial break. We're gonna do a commercial break, then we're gonna come back. And I got a question for especially for Jay and the pastor, and Mike, you can also time in as well.
It's easy.
Commercial break? Yeah, this is the commercial break, man. What's happening, man? It's your boy Lil T3rry, man. Look, we are looking for sponsors and we're looking for brands to be advertised here on this platform. And if you are one of those brands or you are one of them people, shout out to our producer and PR, Jonathan Coleman. Hit up Jonathan Coleman for any placements or anything that y'all want when it comes down to this show. And he got you. Trust and believe. Shout out to our co-host, New Edition, SouthSide Mike. It's going up the right way. You feel what I'm saying? But right now, we are looking for brands that's serious about their business. We are open. Our doors are open for advertisement, sponsorships. And shout out to our subscribers, Tanya Green and So Bright Crenshaw. We are also looking for more to subscribe to our channel. You dig what I'm saying? But look, back to the show, man. Pew! Yes, sir. That was hey, you already know that. Hey, we're looking for some advertisement and sponsorships, baby. So this is my scenario, right? Let's take it back. And I know you know, Mike, you got some questions, you know what I'm saying, as part of the program. But let me go here. In the beginning time, right, there were slaves, right? And we didn't know nothing about Christianity, the Bible, prayer, going to church, any of that, right? But we have seen the masters and their family carrying around a book. And their lives was tremendous. And we was always curious. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were not able to read. we would be killed to read, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that we was allowed to read was the Bible. Now that's the first question is the why, right? The first question is the why. Was we allowed to read the Bible? Now,
Control.
to get the like a demon nature type whatever it is through music, right? Like what is it, like demon what is it something that can, God dog, it's like demonizing demonizing or something like that through the hymns and the music. You feel what I'm saying? So we couldn't read. We got they gave us the book. We couldn't read. So they decided to do the message through music. Back in the day, it was music. We didn't learn from reading at first. We learned through the music and the songs that they was doing. That was not part of our teaching, and it's not part of our religion in a sense. We had our own religion, right? So my take is this: I believe that slaves seen something that was great. You feel what I'm saying? And then we looked to that book or to that lifestyle as hope. Jesus, God, whatever that book was, looking for hope. Because we was getting slave whipped and all that type of stuff. So we actually adapted something in
Trying to get that whip off your back.
Huh?
Trying to get that whip off your back.
Trying to get something off our back. So we exchanged something for hope. And to this day, until this day, we go to church searching for hope. To this day, everybody go. That's the reason why most church dedicate their reach to the poor. That's the reason why most churches is on every blocks in the hood, like liquor stores. And I'm just, you can barely see a church. You know what I'm saying? Stand on the corner in the suburbs.
I got something to say to that. I got something to say to that, man.
I know.
I think churches, honestly, man, was created to control. That's really what church.
That's what text says.
Yeah, it was meant to control the masses. That's what church was. It was to have us fear something, because you got to understand what's the best way to control something is to have it fear you, or to have it fearful or whatever. So that's what I believe. The reason why they gave us the Bible was to basically show them, see, look what God said. God said, obey your slave master. They was using
and it says that in the text.
Yeah, they were using these texts to reassure what they were doing was correct, and to further brainwash us to basically do what they want us to do. But I don't believe that. I don't believe in church. I'm being honest, because I believe it's all a scam. Yeah. So to answer your question, or to talk a little bit about what you were saying, Lil T3rry, that's why I believe they gave us the Bible. It wasn't. It was to give us to control us. I don't think that my oppressor, or somebody who loves me, or who hates me, who despises me, who wants to keep me in a certain place, is gonna give me something that could potentially get me out of that. That doesn't make sense whatsoever. Not whatsoever. So yeah, that's part of my take on it. And I can go all day on this. I love this topic. That's why I said I would love to talk to the pastor, even if it's one-on-one. But yeah, I have a lot of questions when it comes to, because I grew up Christian, and even when I was in the church, I felt like something was wrong. I promise to God, I felt like something was not right. I felt like the pastors were crooks, and yeah, and they were using mind control, because the mind is a terrible thing to waste. They were using mind control to control the masses. That's what the Bible is about.
Well,
think
look,
that's
I'm gonna say it like this, right? I'm gonna say it like this. When it comes down, we was born naked, right? So it took somebody on earth to create some type of clothing.
Jacob,
you know what I'm saying, to put on our back.
Hey, Jacob Anderson, I'm not an atheist, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm not an atheist either.
Yeah, I'm a spiritual.
Hey, Jacob, man, hey.
Jacob has gonna be a fight.
I believe in God. I just don't believe the Bible. I don't believe the Bible is the greatest story ever told. It's a story.
A whole bunch of them.
It doesn't say it doesn't say it's fact. Matter of fact, when you go to your local library and tell me what section you find the Bible in, it's not going to be in a factual. It's not going to be in. It's going to be in a fiction category. You know what fiction is? They're saying.
True.
They're saying.
So we got one coming up. That clear the text. Go ahead, Mike. Check your message.
Yeah. So, moving on to the next subject here, and he kind of touched bases on this a little earlier, and I know, this has been an ongoing conversation for a while. Jay, you actually got cussed out about a month ago on the Man Cave.
I did
about this same subject. So
we can go. We can do it.
It's all men in here. So I mean, I have my personal opinion on this subject, but we're gonna just see if all the fellas how y'all agree to polygamy or monogamy, bro. Which one you sitting on? And that's the easiest way I can say it. Like I say, last time we brought this up with a woman in here, she ripped Jay ass a new one about this subject. So, fellas, Pastor Joel, what y'all sitting on, man? Polygamy or monogamy, man?
Well, let me get mine out the way.
Go ahead, Terry.
Let me get mine out the way. And this is what I already talked to my brother Jay, my brother Mike. But I want to talk to you right quick, right? In the chat.
Is this the Fro talking or this Terry talking?
This is everybody talking.
Okay.
I'm speaking for everybody.
Okay.
Now this is facts.
Okay.
This is not opinionated. This is a fact. A woman cannot get pregnant once she's pregnant. Is that true or not?
That's very true. She's gonna get pregnant once at a time. Yes.
Now it is a certain cases where she actually had, got pregnant twice by two different men. Now that's just a miracle. I got that. Now, men can really deliver like make babies at least twice a day. Right?
You can probably shoot more than that if you got the women on deck. I ain't gonna lie.
But I'm just saying how men are created, right? Men are created to to produce, right? So
facts, we are, yeah.
When it comes down to monogamy, if that was the right structure to go and it was meant to be, why are men still allowed to have babies once the woman is pregnant? That's my question. I'm gonna leave it there.
You shooting that question to everybody or the pastor particularly?
Everybody, well, we already talked about it, but everybody can collaborate on it in the chat.
Well, Pastor, I want your perspective.
King Jacob. Hey, King Jacob, answer that. King Jacob.
Man, I don't even want to talk to Jacob right now. Let him backburner his ass for a minute, because I know he finna come with some old political ass shit.
He already did. Look.
I already know, bro. It's this nigga every week.
Crazy.
Every week is this nigga, man. Like, Pastor, what you got, man?
So, just understanding this, you're saying that when they are already with child and they're already pregnant, they can't have another baby. Is that what you're saying? Why?
Yes, on the woman's side. Yes.
On the woman's side, I mean, honestly, that's a good question. Why would they? My question would be, why would you want it to be like you want a child and then her be able to have another child within while she's pregnant? Is that
no? I'm not saying that I want her to have a child while
the fact that we have the capability to continue having children after we impregnate one, we can gladly leave that one, go impregnate another one. Leave that one, go impregnate another one. Leave that one, go impregnate another one. So the question is basically saying, if it was meant for us to be with one mate,
right?
Why are we allowed biologically to impregnate multiple at once?
I don't even know where in the Bible. That's a man-made stuff, man. I don't even know where in the Bible even say we supposed to be with one person.
It doesn't.
Woman. Like what? Like, who made this stuff up, man? This is what I'm saying. This European ideology stuff, boy, it be getting me.
I'll say this. So looking at, you know, from a Bible perspective, you know, Old Testament, they did that. They had multiple. But the thing is, when you look at it, name one time.
Hey, who is this
where
guy talking?
He talking to me. I ain't worried about nothing that nigga talking about right now. He be talking crazy. That's why we put that nigga, that's why we put his ass on the back burner. Pastor, continue.
My question is, my question is, name a person in the Bible that had multiple women and they had a good time. They had a time where it was name where they didn't have problems.
Name what again?
You said name somebody in the Bible that had multiple wives that didn't have problems.
That didn't have problems.
Now, when you say hold on, because that's when you say didn't have problems, what kind of problems? Everybody have problems, whether you got one woman or multiple women. What problems are you talking about? Women problems, like relationship problems, or like life problems in general?
Well, when you look at them having multiple women, the majority of them I don't know of any of them that didn't have multiple women, and the women didn't get to a place where they were upset with each other, because one could have them and one couldn't. Hannah, Penina, Rachel, Leah. Abraham had Hagar, Sarah. Look at how many issues that happened when they had polygamy. You know.
Okay, well let me hold you there. Right. So society. Now we're speaking about society, right? Society says that we're going to introduce monogamy to keep jealousy and whatever like that down. That's what society said. You know what I'm saying? Society had introduced monogamy so that the assets is not being borrowed or anything like that. The kid can stay in like one household or it just to keep it in place. Monogamy keeps things in place, right?
That shit don't keep nothing in place.
Right, but what I'm speaking on is biologically. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that we're created. So when in the Old Testament, it was allowed. You know what I'm saying? I won't even say allowed. It was
a way of life.
It was a way of life, right? It was no ruling. God didn't say, well, you can't be you could be monogamy, but you could be polygamy. No, you could be polygamy. No, you can't have this, but this person can have that. It wasn't that going on in the Old Testament. So to me, it seemed like society have created something based off what we think and what we feel. What we think and what we feel, we change the ruling and the settings, and we know who it's laws in the United States. Not every if this was the case, every nation and country will follow the same guidelines. If this was the case, every nation and country will follow the same guideline. We're the only strict nation that don't allow wealth generation systems. I'm gonna say only, but most. There are a lot, especially in our culture, the black culture. There are a lot of continents and countries, whatever it's called, that allow wealth systems, and the United States does not.
Yeah, I understand. I totally see what you're saying about because the animal system does that. The animal system. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I only can handle one. I got one right now.
Why though?
I don't want to handle three.
That's a choice he's making.
That's a choice he made.
He said he can
why
only
though?
handle one by his choice.
Why? Why do you feel that way? Is it because of how she would act towards you? Is it because of she might put you in the headlock, or she might leave you if you even find interest? You know what I'm saying? The divorce. What is your why on you could only handle one woman? Why?
I mean, because I ain't always been a pastor. I'm gonna be real with you.
Hey, say we all got a pass, Pastor.
We all got a pass, bro. And that pass,
That's what makes us human.
I'm gonna tell you that pass when I tried 3 or 4.
So it didn't work out for you.
First of all, the cost, the time, they want time, they want affection. women naturally want affection.
Mm-hmm.
And times where you have to break you have so much energy. It's like you have so much water within a gallon. If you pour that water on one person, see, I personally believe that when we was created to have so much energy and so much within us, and that is supposed to pour out to certain people, certain things in life. And I believe that we're all given the energy for one person. I don't believe that, God's given us like 100 gallons and we're sitting here just pour everywhere. I feel like we're going to get burned out. And I feel that for me, and from my belief, and I could go a long time explaining that, but I believe that I'm created for that one, so I can pour that affection, that time for that one person.
And it seems like it still ain't enough. But okay,
like, exactly,
it still ain't enough. But what I'm saying is, okay, what is without speaking about a man or connecting a woman to a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to look at a woman, a real woman, right? A woman, a woman that takes time to herself. That the woman that does self-love,
right?
The woman that that's not necessarily attention grabber. You feel what I'm saying? A woman that's not nagging. You feel what I'm saying? A woman that's more queen, like she's queen acting. You feel what I'm saying? With manners and different things of that nature. Now, if you look at how society was, right? Mental health came from majority of the LGBTQ before it was LGBTQ community. Before it was open, a lot of people was up in the closet, right? But nowadays, you see a lot of people being true to themselves and happy because of how society is flocking to it, right? The same thing with how polygamy is starting to be a hot topic, and it's not necessarily promoted as a sin, or it's not promoted as this and that. A lot of people is coming out the woodwork as if this stuff started like yesterday and it been around, but people were scared to be true to themselves. So when I speak about a woman, when you say that you want to give your time to a woman, or you want to cast out all the confusion and the attention and jealousy, if you're dating women, women would literally go hiking by themselves. They would go driving by themselves. They would sit in the front room, cuddle in the, you know what I'm saying, and eating grapes by themselves. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a woman that's not a lot of these women nowadays are attention grabbers. It's all about an I. Most of these women is about an I. What can you do for me? Or I need this, or I need that. They're not thinking about nothing else. Because I promise you, if a woman was to really love a woman as a sister, you feel what I'm saying? A lot of these women will be happy because it's one man. Trust me, one man can fulfill the roles and needs of the woman. The only thing that's missing in the household is women jobs, cooking, cleaning, being a peacemaker, taking care of the kids, bed making, whatever. This is house duties, right? So if you have, if a woman can't cook, another woman can. If a woman can't sex, another woman can. But when it comes down to the male, we on the outskirts. We come home. A woman don't, in nature, a woman don't come home. A man come home. But what do a man come home to? That's the real question. A woman don't come home. A man come home for whatever he has done out in the world. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't cook, then somebody else is cooking. If you can't wash dishes or you ain't good at this, somebody else can. You're pretty much sharing the wealth. But we're not trying to do that because women is a I team. They created this I thing. It's a me thing. You know what I'm saying? Instead of a we thing. If sisters get together, we'll be all right. Us men will be happy. Trust and believe that. Because at the end of the day,
I feel a little attacked now because you got a whole lot out. And Jacob ain't saying shit.
Right.
About nothing you said, bro.
Hey, where you at, Jay?
As soon as I open my mouth and get to spitting, this nigga got everything to say about everything. I feel a little attacked right now, bro. I feel a little attacked. Is it
but me
me?
and Jay talk about this all the time, though.
But I know, is it me? I'm just saying, is it me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Because my, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? What is really going on here tonight? Like what?
About King
You
Jacob?
this nigga just gave a whole fucking eulogy.
A eulogy, not a eulogy.
And fucking Jacob ain't said one word. I spit out 2
Man,
sentences.
might be gone.
This nigga wrote a whole fucking paragraph on me and why. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. What's really going on, bro? Is it me?
Hey,
is it me?
He might be gone.
Am I that bad? Am I that bad when it comes to these outlooks about, you know what I'm saying? Like, or is it because I just keep it, I keep it thugging? Like, which one is it? Which one is
But
it?
that's just really my take. I think if women was to come together and love one another, cherish one another, you feel what I'm saying, to put what the society has brought onto them, you feel what I'm saying, they would be happier. They will be happier.
You got some women out here in the world that kind of like they understand the benefits of that quote unquote having a sister wife. You have some that understand it. I have a couple around me that their mental is like, hey, let's have
Yeah,
a
she's definitely in the back.
You know what I'm saying?
She's definitely in the back. We heard her.
Oh my God.
We heard her.
Hey man, you gotta cut your shit out, bro.
That's just my take. That's just my take when it comes. I really think that men are naturally built, you know what I'm saying, for polygamy. But society done ruined our females. Like they really ruined our women. You feel what I'm saying? Like I done heard too many black men say that they'd rather go to Africa to get a woman versus getting a woman in America. You know what I'm saying? And women need to start looking at
passport bros.
Passport bros, that's right.
Passport bros.
Yes, sir.
Right.
But women gotta start looking at that, man.
What you got, Jay? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that America created that, man. Because like when Terry just said about, you know, people going across seas or going overseas in different countries to find women, you know, their culture and their beliefs are totally different than here. I feel like
true.
I feel like America is so funny, man, but I really feel like this is the conquer and divide country. You know, it was built on money, on commerce, and it was built to keep the powerful and everybody else, you know, at the bottom. And when I say that, I mean that in all aspects. How can I create a divide and conquer system? You know what I mean? Oh, let's divide the family up. Oh, you can only have one wife. You know what I mean? Because that means that person's gonna work, this person's gonna work. It's gonna create more. I forgot what I was gonna say. It just dropped. But yeah, man, I believe men are meant to have more than one woman. I do. I believe that was naturally what is supposed to happen. Because even when you look at the animal kingdom, I know I said this last time. When you look at the animal kingdom,
you got the
animal kingdom, you got one male in his pride, right? You got one male, and he's smashing everybody in that bad boy. And let another man or let another animal come into that pride. He go fight, right?
Now
it's the same thing. Like,
bringing that up.
Why are we the only species? The only species that has to be limited to only one wife.
So bringing that up with the whole animal species and all that, and you went straight to the lion scenario, and I appreciate you saying that, because in today's society, this little analogy fits perfect. Mm-hmm. You have so many single mothers with kids by other men.
Mm.
When that lion shows up, he's definitely killing those babies to have his own babies with that said woman.
Yep.
But for us, they expect us to accept their kids.
Yeah.
And when you don't, they say you are less of a man.
Less than. This is all what man created, man. This is all what, you know, this nation has created, you know, and it's, you know, it is what it is. I mean, obviously we have to live through it, but yeah, if the question is, do I believe that, you know, polygamy is right or wrong? Oh yeah, I believe it's right. I think that's what it naturally was supposed to be. Yeah, I believe that's what it naturally was supposed to be. And just like everything that was natural, it done got tainted and twisted some kind of way to fit whoever it is narrative. Okay. Everything is to fit whoever's narrative. It just depends on who's telling the story.
What you got, Pastor?
From my understanding now, this is something I had to research this, but from my understanding, it has to do with genes. So going back to this lion, let's say the lion has a wife. From my understanding, the two brothers share genes. So from my understanding, the brothers can share the wife. I've seen where a lion was mating with a lioness, and then the brother came. So question to y'all, would y'all share your wife with your brothers?
Well,
Your actual blood brother.
Yes.
Yeah, brother.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Yes. Yes.
I know who my brother is as a man. I know what he carries. I know what he's capable of. So,
yes.
But even still, even with that being said, technically, when you die and your wife is still alive, your brother's supposed to take over that.
Yeah, it's in the book. It's in the book. That right there is in the book. It's supposed to go to your brother. That's how it's supposed to go to your brother. It's in the text.
Technically.
No. Hey, now I'm gonna swing it. I'm gonna pitch it back to you.
Pitch it back.
Throw that motherfucker back. What do you think about that?
You know, that I think about, having a son and looking at that son saying, that could be my brother's, that could be mine. I'm thinking, I'm like, how would a lot of men today feel about, that could be because I got multiple brothers. I don't just got one brother. What if it's the youngest brother? What if it's the oldest brothers? Would we consider that as how would we feel? I'm listening.
I will feel.
I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that honestly, right? The answer probably would be we wouldn't feel right. Most men wouldn't feel comfortable, and I'm gonna explain why. Even though I would, but I know why most men wouldn't, because most men are territorial, just like the animal kingdom. They're territorial. Exactly. So what's mine is mine, right? Just like we're supposed to be kings, right? So if I'm a king, this is my kingdom. Oh, this is my kingdom. I can't have if this is King Jermaine's kingdom. I can't have King David or King whoever coming over to my shit and trying to fuck my wife. No, hell no, that's my shit. You know what I'm saying? You handle your shit, I'm gonna handle my shit. But
so why you can't beat it in?
That's the difference of opinion.
That's a whole different
of opinion. Hey, me personally, I wouldn't want to beat my wife. That's me personally. I wouldn't want to.
If it's yours, if it's yours, technically, it's yours. Why you can't win?
It's true. It goes to how you choose to, be in that relationship, how you choose to handle it. You know what I mean? I do feel like every man, because the man is the leader of the household, he should have, dominion over whatever he decides to do.
So you can take your leather off, then. That's what I'm saying. You can take that leather and you can apply leather to ass, is what you're saying.
If that's what your rules is, yeah. If that's what your rules is, yeah. I agree. If that's what your rule is,
I just want to make sure it's clear around the board. You know what I'm saying? We got a clear understanding of what property is.
Oh yeah.
I got one thing to say, right? In society, right? They would say cousins dating cousins, cousins dating cousins, and all that type of stuff is sinful and nasty, right? Sinful and nasty, right? Now, look at Tiffany. Your children will be your child or niece or nephew, right? In the scripture that we read today, that's not preached today, you supposed to, if you die, your wife's supposed to go to your brother, which means your brother now have the possibility of having a kid with that woman. Now, all of a sudden, y'all all dating family members. So
I mean, and I'm gonna even break it down even further than that. But
what we doing?
Think about it like this. Think about it like this, bro. If the Bible is to be believed, right? If Adam and Eve were the first people on the earth, or whatever the case may be, and when they got when they got cast out of the Garden of Eden, right? Right? Do we honestly think that they populated the whole freaking earth, just those two people? There's Adam and Eve, and then you had, I think they had Cain, Abel, and they had one other brother that they don't talk about in the canonized Bible, but they talk about it in another Bible. But that's something.
So that means Cain and Abel had to have kids with their mom.
Right? Cain and Abel had to have kids. For who were their wives? You know what I'm saying? Like, who was Cain and Abel's wives? Like, what the hell?
Well, who was Adam and Eve? Like, was Adam and Eve husband and wife? Like, what?
Man, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that don't add up. And that
what
don't
he's saying is Adam and Eve were quote unquote the first two people to ever exist.
They weren't.
That's technically
so
what
they considered husband and wife. Was they considered?
No.
Right. So that means they just fucking.
Yeah, they just fucking. That's why I said man made this bullshit up about polygamy. I mean about
monogamy.
One man and one woman. I'm telling you, they made that up to control some shit, man. It's all. Yeah,
if Adam would have been whooping Eve
ass, God, all I know is God didn't say that. God didn't say one man should be with one woman. He did not say that.
If Adam would have been whooping Eve ass, that apple would have never got ate. Let's just keep it player. Let's just keep it player.
You a whooping folks, man.
Let's just keep it player here. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it player. That apple would have never got ate. He would have put leather to ass.
Hey, Jonathan said whoever wrote the Bible, they forgot the potholes.
Yeah, King James.
Y'all messed up.
Disclaimer: I obey the laws of the land. I do not whip my wife. Y'all can't get me. Some women on this chat. Some women, if you try to whoop them, that somebody gonna get it gonna turn. Them tables gonna turn. They're gonna turn to ceiling.
Hey, so look, read this one right here.
Hold on, Tiffany. Hold on, whoever this Tiffany girl is.
She going off.
Huh?
She going off. Go ahead, read it.
She said the first people that we know of where the Bible starts off, there had to be other people. They are the ones we know of.
Hey, break that down, Tiffany. But what I'm gonna get ready is, I didn't read the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say.
She's basically saying there are other people that existed. We were only told about Adam and Eve.
And I wonder why.
The same message.
But I wonder why.
Yeah, I agree. The Bible does talk about Adam and Eve, and it does talk about the daughters of men. It talks about a lot of stuff that it's a lot of depth there. Y'all gonna have to bring me back on so we can go into the depth of all this stuff.
Oh yeah, I would love to have a pastor back on, man.
Okay, baby.
I was taught like you said that stuff. This was what we talked about, the deep stuff.
Oh no, this the man cave. This the Creole, baby.
Yeah.
We do this every third Tuesday of each month.
So we're gonna roll into this next one right here, and I know everybody on this panel gonna give a different answer to this.
The canonized Bible starts at the Garden of Eden.
True.
I'm just answering. I'm just saying that question. To the Tiffany girl said the Bible starts in the Garden of Eden. That's the canonized Bible. That's what King James wants you to believe. Because King James wrote the Bible that you probably talking about. Mm-hmm. But that's the whole thing.
And the first book,
the same King James who was a murderous man and who also had an affinity for demonology and witchcraft. The same guy wrote the Bible for the demons, wrote the Satanic Bible, and wrote the Christian Bible.
And he was Caucasian. So back then he was in slavery.
And he was a murderer. Write nothing to say. And he was a murderer. And he was evil. One of the most evil men to ever live. I'm just saying. But they be wanting me, but they be wanting us to believe that these stuff came from God. God who? Which God you talking about?
Y'all gonna have to get me back on here so we can go into the depth of that.
Yeah, I would love it. I would love
it. The depth of
I want somebody to be able to answer my questions because these are questions that's been lingering all my life.
Mm-hmm. I agree with a lot of I'm not, because I'm not a typical pastor. I agree that we can go. I ain't saying I agree to everything.
We got him stuck, baby. We did our job today. We did our job today. Yes, sir.
All right.
So what you about to say, Pastor?
Oh, I just said there's a lot of stuff we gonna have to really discuss and get into because I feel y'all. I feel it.
Okay. Cool beans. Well, I'm glad you've been receptive to what we had to
Yes.
say. You wasn't
So
judgmental or anything. You actually sat and listened. So me personally, I can't talk for the other fellas, but I appreciate that because most pastors I have, or not even pastors, but most people that I have this conversation with, we go back and forth. They tend to get mad. Like the lady last time I had this conversation, she
Oh,
was
Miss
totally
Deborah. Oh
upfront.
yeah, Deborah.
Oh, she was
Deborah.
mad. Oh, she was
Oh
in her
boy, she
feelings.
was fucking
She
pissed.
was in her feelings, and I was like, "Oh, yep, see, that's what I'm talking about right there." But that's a whole nother story. And I love to have her back on too, and we can all discuss this.
we love
I'm ready.
everybody. What you
Love
got,
everybody.
Southside?
All right, so to my fellow black brothers that's on this panel, and for ones in the chat, I pose this question to each one of you individually. How do you love a black man?
Oh, that's for the women. That's for the women to answer, right?
No. This is
No,
for
no.
you to answer.
It's
Because
it's our take.
we asked the women the same thing last week of how do you love a black woman? They
Let me
gave
give
their
them the answers.
perspectives on how they felt like they should be loved.
Oh,
Give
okay.
them the answers though.
Okay, I get that.
The answers was priority. The answer was priority. And what was the other one?
I can't even remember. It was so.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was
remember.
so.
But mostly
it was too political.
priority.
It was too fucking political.
Yeah, priority.
But
All the
but
women said priority.
I got another question for you. Let's go add on to what you just asked, Southside. Like, what do you believe in relationships should be? Do you think relationships should be based off of love, or do you think relationships should be based off of loyalty?
Okay, me personally.
You said love or loyalty?
Love or loyalty. So I had this conversation no more than probably a week ago with a couple family members, and the females were family members, and they had a very distorted perception of loyalty and faithfulness. They put the two in the same category, and I kept trying to break it down to them and let them know those two aren't the same.
Right, correct.
Someone being faithful to you and someone being loyal to you, they don't go hand in hand. So, me personally, if I'm loyal to you, that means I'm showing up for you anytime you need me to be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
I will always love you no matter your flaws and everything that you have going on. My love for you is unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
I know everything that comes with you, whether it's good, bad, in between. I accept everything that comes with you. That's part of my loyalty to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to look at you different based on things that you do or based on how you act. I accept you for who you are wholeheartedly.
So that's loyalty. So that's loyalty of love.
That's loyalty.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone.
I agree.
Now, whether or not I decide to go smash something on Wednesday ain't got nothing to do with the fact of me showing up for you when you need me to be there for you in your time of need, in your time of want, or anything else, whether it's affection, companionship. I can still provide all these things to you personally and still go get some quality yam on Friday night.
Right. Hey, man. Hey, I feel you on that, brother.
That's me though. I
agree.
I don't speak for every other black man. I don't know how they feel or every other man. Everybody might have a different perspective, but me personally, I can show up for you in any way that you need me to show up for you and still go get some quality yam. Because personally, to answer my own question, in order for me to for you to love me, give me my freedom to be me. If you give me my freedom to be me, anything that you need from me comes tenfold, no questions asked. And the main question that they're going to ask is, would you allow me to do it?
Or would you allow her to do it?
And that's the main question. Oh, well, what if I did? And I was like, honestly, you're not me. You're not even built like me.
And they're not even the head of the household. So
to ask that question to me seems a little absurd, seeing that we're not even built the same.
I agree.
What you look for out of your partner isn't the same things that I look for out of my partner. What I look for in a woman, you're not looking for the same thing. And the one thing I kept hearing from the women around me when I had this conversation. Oh, well, I hold down my house. I hold, and I'm like, well, congratulations on being a fucking adult.
Right. Yeah.
We don't value you being a fucking adult. That's just a prerequisite of life. You're going to grow up. These are things that you have to do. So congratulations on being an adult. Nobody's applauding you for that. So love goes within the relationship, but loyalty overrides love, because it's going to be days where I don't love you. It's going to be days where I don't fucking like you. But if I remain loyal to you, then you have all my love. Simple.
Preach.
Well, mine's is loyalty as well. I just came up with this scenario with my wife, and I said, two people can be together, and that man came home every night, woke up every morning. When you cooked, he was there. He provided, he worked. I'm talking about you was happy, smiling. Your world is perfect. Until
that boy went and got some quality in.
You found out that he had a side piece. But the whole time this man had this side piece, he was making sure that you was happy. Now, you didn't know. You didn't know. But you was happy this whole time. And that's what happens in majority of relationships to this day, that we will rather, especially females, males too, we would rather throw away everything just because it didn't go our way. Or society said this, or society said that. And it don't have to be a past. It can still be present. And we could bring it back to the polygamy world. That man got a side piece. That side piece is making sure that man is happy. Since that man is happy, he's making you happy. That happiness don't come only from that man. That happiness also comes from you don't know that girl might be cooking some good food over there. You feel what I'm saying?
Which
and
that,
come back
now
you go down with the curry though.
Back home.
Back home. And you getting all this love. She getting part-time. You getting all love. I'm laying down with you. I wake up with you. But of course, I probably even we did Netflix and chill. You feel? That's probably all we did. But she made me feel good. So since I'm feeling good, I'm able to bring it home. And you know what that's all about? That's not love. That's not faithfulness. That's not me. Well, it's I mean, in society, it's sneaking or whatever like that. But I'm loyal to my main. You're my main. That's my main. So if in the real world, a true man, if anything happened on the side with that side chick, he'll leave that mug gone. He'll throw that mug like a damn dime. But when it comes to that man, that man can slash tires. That man can bust windows. That man can get him upset. That man cannot cook that night. But that man will still be there because of loyalty. And once that side piece mess up, she's done. Ghost. And she's still so mine is loyalty. Mine's loyalty.
I think everybody know what mine is. So,
for cheesy.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I ain't even really got to elaborate. So you know, it's
definitely people think love is action.
Definitely loyalty to me.
Yeah,
man.
Love is an action.
Something. Man, love make people do dumb shit too. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Like love make people do some dumb shit.
It's a feeling.
Yeah, it's emotional. So a lot of times people think with emotions. You know what I'm saying? Oh well, I love you, so that's why I told on you. That don't make no goddamn sense. You know what I'm saying? You love me based off of what you think your love should be for me? No, I need you to be loyal to me, because loyalty goes way further than love. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't love me. I'd rather somebody be loyal to me. Don't love me.
What's your take, Pastor? And then this our last question, and we're gonna wrap it up. But what's your take?
So for me, what I believe I need as a man, a black man, I would say that I see it. I agree, and then I also say, but I say it like this. I say it's love. However, I like to use a scripture that says, who has greater love than this for a man to lay down his life? So when a person lay down their life, they're laying down not only physically, we're not just talking about physically, we're talking about mentally, we're talking about getting to a place where you have to bend for me. You get to a place like you got to be loyal to me. That's a sacrifice. That's laying down what I want sometimes. I mean, I want to get up and cook, but I'm gonna get up and try to make this thing work. And I believe love is deeper than just talking. I believe that love is it's a wholesome, it's whole. It's not just you're gonna do a piece of this, do a piece of that. I believe that loyalty looks different. See, so people, different relationships have different boundaries, and I believe that people, they stick to those boundaries, in those relationships. Then their loyalties, they're being loyal to their boundaries. See what I'm saying? So I'm saying that for me, I believe that it's love. But when I say love, I believe that it's a sacrificial love. It's that agape love that you can't get just by anybody. So,
but you're still in the same category.
I respect that. I respect that answer. I like how you put that. I like how you put that. Yeah, I like how you put that down.
You're still on the verge of, of the loyalty part of sacrifice.
Right.
Time.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, but it still seemed like it was a little bit more loyalty to me in there. But
yeah, it's more to me like loyalty. But like you said,
I definitely understood in the context of how you was putting it and how you put it. I definitely understand where you're coming from, Pastor, when you say it like that. But again, to me, it was still sounding like there was a little bit more loyalty, because you can't have, you can love somebody but not be loyal to them, right? But you can't be loyal to somebody and not love them. You see where I'm going with, right? So that's why I say, well, if you just love me,
I see what you're saying.
Love can be whatever you perceive love is. Like love is I'm doing this because I love you. Like what Southside was saying earlier. I love you, so I'm gonna whoop your ass because but I love you though. You know what I'm saying? Even though this shit's gonna hurt, because love not supposed to hurt. From what I understand, love is not supposed to hurt. Love is supposed to feel good. Love is supposed to be. But think about the wordplay. I love you. I'm beating your ass, but I love you, and it's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you.
It's gonna hurt you physically.
No damn sense. But loyalty is a little different. I'm not gonna hurt you because you take, when you loyal to somebody, you take your feelings out of it, because it's about me being loyal to. I'm loyal to this person, like all that is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing to do with love at that point. Like love by itself is not enough. It's not enough. I just rather you be loyal to me.
My thing is, a lot of people is not. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. If I had to choose, it'd definitely be loyalty over love, most definitely. Because I can have love while you're loyal to me, but I can't. If you're not loyal to me, then I don't see how you love me. I don't.
Right.
But just I mean, I know Mike about to ready to close, but what I'm saying is, based on what you just said about the love part, love is really like on the verge of like going through the bullshit. So if I feel like you gaining weight, you know what I'm saying? Love to most people, love is like, don't hurt my feelings, or don't tell me something that I don't want, or don't critique me. But if I come to you,
hurt,
it's not supposed to hurt.
Yeah, because the love is how people say it's not supposed to hurt, but it does.
Right.
It does.
Love hurts. No,
right.
True love hurts. Like love. I think it's the opposite. But
loyalty
of what
doesn't.
We think.
Loyalty
do not. So love hurt. Man, listen. Love is not sweet. Love is not. Mike.
Have you noticed why? Hold on. Have you noticed?
We're gonna bring this up.
Hey, it's funny that you said that, Lil T3rry. That love is so sweet. Have you noticed why what we consider Love Day, right? Valentine's Day. Do people even know what Valentine's Day really means?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I like that love shit, man. Listen, man,
we had some really good answers to that question, and I appreciate all you brothers for opening up, giving your perspectives on, what it takes for you, whether it's love, loyalty, whatever the case may be. I appreciate all you gentlemen for your answers and your time.
Most definitely, man.
Ladies, if you're in here and you're listening, I hope you all paid attention to the things that got said tonight. If you have a man that's loyal to you, God damn it, you love that man unconditionally.
Right. Be loyal to him. Be loyal to him.
So, ladies, get out your feelings when I say this. Forget about the side piece. Forget about that extracurricular yam that he got on Thursday night. If
Be
you
happy.
got a man that's loyal to you, love that man unconditionally, and you will get everything you want out of that man.
Mm-hmm.
So, with
I
that
agree.
being said, we're gonna close out with that. Jay, we appreciate you.
No doubt, man. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Pastor Tevin, man, we appreciate you.
Invite me back, y'all.
We definitely coming
Yeah,
back.
Pastor, we definitely,
I like
we
that.
definitely
Definitely
have you
coming back.
I like that.
That's what's up.
Like
That's
that.
what's up.
Lil Terry, man, I
You already
appreciate
know,
you,
baby.
brother, always.
You already know, man.
This is
EFABU.
EFABU, the crib, baby. We out.